egg mixture. I can say words. I haven't been drinking at all. Well, there's some color. Greetings and welcome to Cooking with Squirrel. If you're new here, I'm the Squirrel. Today we are making a Thai green curry frittata. So I'm basically smashing Italian and Thai together. It's delicious. Let's get into the cook now. All right, so the first thing that we have to do is prep our coconut milk. And one of the things about this is it separates in the can. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna pop it out of the can, and you see it's all solid on the top. It'll be liquid down at the bottom. So we'll try and squeeze the sides a little, try and break the suction. It's coming. We got her. There she is. All right, let's whisk that up. So this is the kind of the fat, and then this is the coconut water. So we want to break this up. It doesn't need to be super smooth. We just want a equal distribution of the fats and the liquids. Be gentle here so you don't sling it out of the bowl. There's still some kind of chunky bits in here. I'm not worried about them. They're gonna get kind of whisked in or melted down later. So this is good enough for my purposes. So I'm going to pour 3/4 of a cup off. See if I nailed it. Nailed it! And we'll save the rest of this for just a minute. All right, next up, eggs time. So we're gonna go ahead and crack a dozen eggs. And throw some on the floor. There's our dozen eggs. Now we bring back our reserved coconut milk. This is about a cup, and we're gonna go into our eggs with this. Make sure we get it all out of the bowl. This is coconut sugar. It's kind of got a molassesy flavor to it, so we're gonna put 2 tablespoons of that in. Our salt component in this case, and umami, is gonna be 2 tablespoons of fish sauce. Go right in with that. And time to whisk. So we're gonna bust each one of these little egg yolks in the head. You can use an immersion blender to blend this and it'll get super, super smooth. I'm gonna be lazy and not do that because I don't wanna clean it. Always whisk longer than you think you need to. If you see any clear bits in here, that's gonna be egg white streaks. And when you finish your cook, you're gonna have whites actually show up in your cook. All right, so I don't see any streaks. When you pull the whisk through, nothing's clinging to it. So that's good. So we're gonna make a lime zest sour cream, super simple. So let's get our sour cream into the bowl with a whole pint. Save this, because if you have leftovers, you're gonna need it. Now we will zest our lime. There are a couple ways you can do this. You can do it long strokes, you get long like threads. I don't want that here. I want little tiny short bits of zest. So I'm actually gonna do kind of a little short stroke and just move the lime as I go. That gets me little tiny bits of zest. Obviously don't go too deep into the white. It doesn't really like to cut anyway, so pretty much as soon as you get the good green zest off the top, the pith doesn't really want to get cut by a microplane. Flip our lime around so we can get to the other end. And you can see, just for giggles, I'm trying to see if I can keep all the zest on top of the microplane to the end, but sometimes I fail. Here we go. Got it all in one shot. Now we have a lime juice. We'll save for something for later, but don't throw it away. You will need to use it soon though, because it will dry out very quickly without its peel. So, lime zest in. And pinch of salt never hurt. Let's give this a mix. And that is our sour cream done. We'll set that aside until we're ready to serve. All right, so let's prep our veg so we can actually get to cooking. This recipe calls for 1 medium yellow onion. I only have small yellow onions, so I'm gonna do 2 of them. Adjust with what you got available. We're gonna top these, split them in half, peel them, give them a chop. Let's knock out these eggplants. All right, so these eggplants have a little top on them. You can tear it off with a little bit of force. Then you have nice little Thai eggplant with no cap on it. We got about a pound here. And we'll just rock through all these real quick. And we will cut these into quarters. That. See, nice and pretty. All right, there's our pound of Thai eggplants. Next, some spicy peppers. We want a very thin slice on these. These are Thai chilies, by the way. Didn't mention that, but thought it was kind of obvious. Okay, there's our spicy chilies. And last but not least, bell pepper, the red variety. Cut some planks off of this. So we want small cubes out of this. Make some nice batons, and then cubes. There we go. Throw those in with the other peppers. They're all gonna get sauteed at the same time. Same bowl's fine. And that is, peppers done. All right, so one more garnish we're gonna have at the end is chiffonade, which is a fancy French word for little tiny threads. So we're going to stack all these leaves up, and we're gonna roll that like a little tiny green cigar. There we go. There we go. Everything's prepped. Let's actually cook. Let's preheat oven 350 and get our non-stick oven-safe pan. That's very important, an oven-safe pan for this. Over some medium-high heat. And throw about a tablespoon of neutral oil in. Use whatever you like. Onions. Then we're gonna sprinkle in a half teaspoon of kosher salt. Starting to get a little sizzle on our onions here. We're gonna cook these. We're not gonna look for any color here. We're just gonna get them a little bit tender, and then we'll move to our next step. Okay, you can see our onions are starting to go translucent. They're not fully cooked, but they're close enough right now because they're going to continue cooking in some of the other processes down the road here. So we're going to go ahead with our next step, which is to add in our coconut milk. So we have 3/4 cup of our coconut milk from earlier. We're going to pour that in and we're going to cook it out. So in we go. So we're going to cook this until it breaks on purpose. So we actually want to cook all the water out of the coconut milk until we just get basically coconut solid or coconut fat. So we're gonna give this a minute or two. This Thai green curry technique that I'm using is from Hot Thai Kitchen. There'll be a link down below to the original recipe for theirs. This is just use a little bit of their recipe to kind of do this part. So I want to keep moving this around so we don't burn any spots because we're running pretty hot here and we don't want to burn any of these sugars. So keep checking. It's still creamy, so it hasn't broken yet. We're looking for it to look kind of greasy. This curry brought to you by Rye Whiskey. All right, so if you look at this here, you can see it's no longer like one creamy mass here. This is now, it's fat. The fat has separated out. That's what it means when we say it's broken. So the fat's no longer emulsified into the liquid. So now we're going to go to our next step. We're going to take our 1/4 cup of Maeploy, don't know how to pronounce that properly, but it's very, very tasty. Available in either Amazon or your local Asian market. Plop. Get this in here, that broken up and frying off. You want to get all that fragrance into the oil. You want to keep this moving, get it all well incorporated into here. I wish you could smell this. It smells so good in here right now. All right, we've cooked this off for about 2 minutes. You can see it's all well incorporated. We're gonna go in with our, it's spicy in my lungs. We're gonna go in with our Thai eggplants. Get those in, spread them out, and then we're gonna sprinkle them with the remainder of our salt. So we're gonna get a teaspoon of our kosher salt. We're gonna cook these until they're just starting to get tender. We will need to add some water off and on here. You're just gonna have to kind of do that by eye. When this starts to get too dry, add a little water. You don't want anything to burn in here. Before we add any water, I'm gonna go ahead and actually add our peppers in so we can get a little saute on those, and then we'll add a little water and simmer this. But I wanna get some actual saute on these peppers. So this is both the sweet and the hot peppers. These are optional. You can do both, none, one or the other, however you like it. The color is nice, and the sweet and the spicy are both nice as well, but the dish is great without them also. All right, we've got some color going on here. We need to soften these eggplants just a little bit more, so I don't want to fry this off too much, so we're going to go for a simmer now. We'll add just a little bit of water, and we'll cook most of this out. But this will help us soften the eggplants without making too many dark. All right, so let's give these a little poke, see where we're at. Oh, that one's nice. That one's a little stiff still, so we're getting close. We don't want to go too soft. Now, the good thing about Thai eggplants is that they can take quite a bit of cooking, and they won't go like super mushy like a standard purple eggplant that we're used to here in the US. But you can cook them mushy. We want these to be fairly firm but tender before we go in the oven, because they won't cook a whole lot more in the egg mixture. Egg mixture. I can say words. I haven't been drinking at all. Oh, there's some color. Gotta keep these moving. Don't want to get too much color on them. Oh, it smells so good. All right, so these are basically like tender crisp right now, so we're going to go in with our egg. One more whisk. Reincorporate all of that coconut milk. And you can see there's still solid bits of coconut milk in here. That's totally fine. They're gonna melt down as this warms up, and it'll reincorporate right into all this. So we're gonna go in. All right, so we're already getting nice curds forming, so we're gonna go into the oven immediately, now that we've got everything mixed in nicely. Oh, don't drop it. Oh, don't drop it. This might not have been the best one to decide to have a drink while I was doing it, but it's in there, bye-bye. So we have our frittata in the oven. I can't give you an exact time how long this is gonna take you. There's a couple factors here that are going to change how long it's going to take. How big is your pan? How many ingredients did you put in? How hot was it when it went in? These are all things that are going to change this wildly. So what you need to do is starting at 10 minutes, maybe every 5 to 10 minutes, check. You want to grab the handle with a hot pad, shake it, and see where your consistency of your eggs is. Depending on your personal taste, you might want to go more or less done. I like mine pretty well set, so I don't want any jiggle in the middle. If you want like a kind of a custardy center, you could go with a little bit of wobble, kind of like you would do for some other egg dishes, but I like mine pretty well set. Let's get our hands ready. Okay, whoa, getting some puff. Okay, so we got puff around the edges, that's a good sign. Oh, we might almost be done in just 10 minutes. Oh, wow. Okay, so this has been in for 10 minutes. You can see that the entire thing jiggles when you shake the pan, because I have a good nonstick. This is still just a touch loose in the middle. So we're gonna give it like, I don't know, 5 minutes, maybe 5 minutes. We'll check it back in 5 minutes. So let's get this tucked back in here. All right, so we're at a total of 13.5 minutes. I'm gonna give it another check. I think 5 was too long to go, so let's look. Don't touch the pan without a handle. Okay, so everything is nice and solid. When I poke in here, you see everything moves together. I like mine fully set, so I think we're good. We're gonna come out, so the total of 13.5 minutes. So out we come, go right onto there, and we're gonna let that cool for about 5 minutes, and then the next step is we're gonna turn that out. All right, frittata's had 5 minutes, it's cooled off. If you can see around the edges, it is fallen a little bit. It's no longer puffed up over the edge. That's what we wanted. We wanted to let it settle a little bit before we tried to flip it. So this is the juggling portion of the event. Don't look at that. I did not turn a burner on while I was shooting a video and scorch this. Anyway, this goes on to our pan, centered up. Make sure you're using a hot pad here. Going to firmly place one hand here and then grab a different style for this flipping. This has got little rubber grippies on it, silicone grippies. So we're gonna grab this. We're gonna grab this, both sides. Got a little grip on each side, and we're just gonna go bloop, like that. And out we come. Perfect, beautiful. See, no sticking in there, everything's out. And we have a gorgeous 12-egg frittata. So let's give it a little spin. Man, that's pretty. I think we go straight into the cut. We already let it rest. So here we go. We're gonna go straight across. We're gonna cut this into eighths. I'm gonna give this a cut right down the center to start. And then quarter it. Oh, it smells so good. And we'll cut ourselves a nice wedge. You guys tell me how close I got to actual quarters. Not sure. Oh, that's a terrible cut. We can tell those aren't equal. We will go right underneath our knife. Pull that out. Let's see if we can get you a little, oh, look at that. I don't know how well you're gonna see that from that angle. I'll give you another angle here in a second. But we'll go right onto our plate. Our eggplants are trying to escape us. All right, tuck the eggplant back in. Do a little dollop on top here. This is great to balance out all of the flavors in here. It adds a little more tartness and freshness from the lime zest. And then we have some chiffonade Thai basil. I only cut a little bit because we're only gonna have a couple of these tonight. I'm gonna cut this fresh when you're gonna use it. There we go. Thai basil deployed. Now, I believe it's time for a bite. All right, so I'm gonna get a little scoop here. Go right off the tip there. A little bit of everything. Cheers. That is so good. This is like you took Thai green curry, the soup, Thai green curry, and smashed it into a frittata. That's exactly what it tastes like. It's a little bit spicy, a lot of flavors from the curry paste. It's got the umami of the fish sauce. It's got some crunch from the Thai basil. So there's a little bit of crunch left in the eggplant still. It's got everything. It's a whole meal in a pan. I really hope you enjoyed this recipe. I think that frittatas are one of the best weeknight recipes there are. You can feed an entire family with that 12-egg frittata. It's 8 portions. They're pretty filling. If you're a big boy like me, you might eat 2 portions, but you can still feed 4 of us with this. So let me know what your favorite frittata is. If you've ever made one at all, let me know. And tell me what you put in them when you do make them. Hello, Willie.
Right?
Hi.
Our favorites, right?
Hi, Willie Bear. Hi, Willie Bear. You a good boy? Okay, out. Out. Oh, fine. Hold on, let's find you something. Let me see. Come here. Come over here. Over here. Over here. Willie, are you a good boy? You want a treat? Yeah? You want a treat? That's a good boy. That's a good boy, Willie. That's a good boy, Willie. Okay, let Daddy do his outro. Out. Good boy. Out. Out. He knows out. All right. Out. Out. All right, we're back. If you have any positivity in your life, please try and pay it forward. Go out and do something nice for somebody today. Make the world a little bit better place. Thanks for stopping by. If you enjoyed this and you want to watch another one of my videos, you can check it out up here. And if you want to check out my cause videos, also known as food and philanthropy videos, you can check out a playlist with those down here.